come with me to do a grey blending transformation. So this was my lovely model's starting point. She had different percentages of grey throughout her head and some outgrown bleach highlights throughout the mids and ends of her hair. I began by sectioning my client's hair into 4 quadrants, following the parting down to the back and then taking that parting to the back of the ears. I then mixed up my lightener, and my lightener of choice today was the NXT Protect Bleach. So throughout the back of my client's head, she had a lot less greys and a lot more natural dark. However, she didn't want to feel too dark. So I went in doing quite a fine weave, and I added a tease, and I blended this liner up for ultimate softness and a really seamless regrowth. As I work my way up the head and the greys increase, I swap to doing a really fine baby light foil, and I take my lightener right to the root. I mimic this exact placement on the other side of the head, meeting in the middle, where I then use my same baby light technique up to the crown. In order to blend out any existing highlights, I went in with a colour fill. I chose to use 7-1 in demi-permanent so that we didn't take her natural hair too dark, but we had that blend in between the foils. As I move to the front of the head, I'm taking back-to-back baby lights and I'm following the hairline backwards. This is going to mimic where she's got a little bit more grey at the front and create a really soft but poppy face frame. As I get further away from the hairline, I'm just adding a little bit more hair in between my foils and I'm starting to pivot this upwards. I then followed the hairline for the top section before going across in horizontal foils, again taking my super fine baby lights to mimic her natural greys. Using the same colour, I then colour filled in between all of these foils with the exception of the front foils to create a brighter face frame. Already after rinsing, we can see the blend is so much better, but it was time to go in with my all-over toner. My toner of choice was equal parts 812 and 1011 from the NXT toner range, which I applied all over. Here's a little reminder of the before, and this is our finished result. As you can see, it's so much more blended and her natural greys will just grow out seamlessly. Make sure to screenshot this page for all formulas.